Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Saadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner. The purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, you are family. I love and appreciate you dearly. I don't know if I shared the link, but if I do and your profile looks like this, please show me this. And then if you're not comfortable, you can go back to that. Just know that, especially if I've never seen you on here before, I absolutely must see your face before I bring you up, and know that no one else but me can see you until I bring you up to the big screen. Not even Donovan can see you. Also, in the comment section, it's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. So let's be as respectful as possible. Same thing for us on the panel. Also, to my dear beloved moderators, thank you for everything that you do. Love and appreciate you. Also, people coming to the chat. And y'all know who I'm talking about. They get to acting crazy. Please do not hesitate to block them immediately, as we are not going to be putting up any foolishness outside of the norm, right? So today we're going to be talking about why is the Black Misleadership silent about Carmelo Anthony. Of course, we're going to stay in the same vein with that because there's a lot to talk about. Of course, and I'll get into that in just a little bit, but I'm going to give it over to Donovan, who's here. No, I don't need. How you doing, Brother Dom, my triple OG moderator? Hope you're doing well. Simo, what's going on with you? Maureen, hope you're having a great day. Geechee Dan Buford, what's going on? And that's all I see on here so far. Also, for those of you guys who would like an opportunity to help Carmelo Anthony in his defense fund and all of that, I have pinned the link in YouTube and the comment section. If you guys would do that, I'd love and appreciate you for that. JJ, how you doing? Buck Horse, how you doing? Donovan?
Big shout out to Buck Horse. He's been with us a long time. Big time supporter. Really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning in again. So that's from my man Buck Horse DC. Hey, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you guys know, we had a earlier show on the podcast, or earlier podcast that was not live. We had Tamara Johnson Shealy. If you haven't seen that aspect of it, it's talking about reparations. Go check that out. Like, share, and subscribe there. Also, pinning. Tamara Johnson Shealy has a nail business, so we've got that also into the chat, and I'll pin it on in the conversation if you ladies are interested in it. Her nail thing is more natural, so it's a lot of natural stuff. So let's just see where that goes. But do us a favor, you guys. For those guys that have been donating, thank you so much. For those guys that want to continue to donate, there's a scrolling banner at the bottom there: Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of that great stuff, cash, money order. We'll take it all, and it's greatly appreciated because we got to keep these great conversations going. Again, right now, Dimitri, I don't know if you want to check. I don't know where his money raising is at right now. But when we talked about this Sunday, he didn't have $100,000. So Dimitri's gonna give us an update on that. Also, don't forget about the African Diaspora News Channel app. Yearly subscription is the best subscription. If Brother Phil Scott does another sale on that, I'm definitely going to let you guys know. But African Diaspora News Channel, you can get it on Google app and the Apple Play Store and all that other great stuff. Download it, do it, have a great time. Knowledge is king, and that's the best way to understand what's going on all around the diaspora. A lot of great information going on. How many of you guys know Donald Trump has still opened up for the white South Afrikaners to come into the United States? A certain number of them are allowed to come, and no problems, whatever. But
they're not gonna be here for long.
Right, exactly. Why don't they go to their native Netherlands, where they're from? But anyway, this is how you kind of see what our government is doing. Again, Democrats were in power. We saw what the Democrats were doing to undermine Blackness by letting all these illegal migrants and people that come into the country. Matter of fact, Donald Trump just now got rid of, he repealed the Sudanese. There were some Sudanese Africans here, and he told them they need to go home. How did I find that information out? African Diaspora News Channel. So again, it is a great, knowledgeable tool. We have a lot of young people graduating this year. That is a great tool. We have a lot of baby boomers that are like sitting at home with nothing to do. That is a great tool to get them some information that, they're sitting around reading books and stuff. That's another good way to do that. So we're going to do that. Also, do not forget the Black Expo, Columbus, Ohio, Demetra K, Brother Phil Scott, Vicki Dillard. African Diaspora News Channel crew will be there in a symposium. If you guys want to see Demetra K and the rest of the crew in person, that is one way you can do it. Go to Demetra K's Facebook page. Come to my Facebook page. The dates, the numbers, the times, it's all there. You guys can go chat, see what's happening. And Columbus, Ohio, I think there was a reserve base there, if I remember. I used to fly in there, but nice area, beautiful girls, women that are there. I mean, it's really a nice spot to be. So Columbus, Ohio, you guys.
Yes, indeed. And Donovan, thank you for all the wonderful reminders and everything you do and keeping everybody abreast of what's going on everywhere. Brother Reggie, how you doing? One who cares. Easy E, what's going on with you? I saw Panther Strike. I saw Matthew and a whole host of other people. Kara, I haven't seen you in a while, and welcome back. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it for the sake of time. So, of course, you guys have heard by now the situation with Carmelo Anthony, 17-year-old track athlete in Frisco, Texas, who is in custody, if you will, due to a stabbing another student by the name of Austin Metcalf. It happened, I think it was on the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken, last week as they were at track meet. There's a whole lot of details that are out there. I don't know how many of them are accurate and how many of them are not. Of course, there's a lot of falsehoods out there. So myself personally, I'm not going to try to litigate any of this here, as that's not my job. It's not anyone else's job, but the attorney that they paid for. And yes, Derek Walpole, I think that's his name. As you guys were telling me, I've seen him speak. He has taken on the case, and it sounds like he's got some other people helping him speak. But he said, we're basically still trying to piece everything together. He says, but I believe that Karmelo acted in self-defense. So he's still gathering all the information at this point. From what I understand, too, they're trying to get the bail reduced from $1 million, which is extremely high. Sounds like it's one of the highest bail amount, for especially a 17-year-old kid. So they're trying to get that reduced. As of now, thank you, Donovan, for reminding me, the amount that's raised on Give, Send, Go, and I put the link in the comment section if you guys would like to donate. It's at a little over $250,000. So it's making some progress. I'm sure they're grateful for that. I think it should be more, but who am I? Nevertheless, I want to talk about why is the Black misleadership silent? Now, I don't know. Maybe they're working behind the scenes esoterically. I don't know. I'm just going to throw that out there because I don't want to absolutely say they're not doing anything. But I spent about, 45 minutes or an hour just kind of looking at certain key players in the Black community. Y'all notice how I called them the Black misleadership, because they ain't led us to do a damn thing. Let's keep it real. Okay. So I first went on to Reverend Al Sharpton stuff. Right now, he's got a new campaign out where he's targeting PepsiCo, because I guess PepsiCo is thinking about getting rid of their DEI. So he's going after them in, I think, a couple of days, 21 days. I don't know. He's going after PepsiCo. Nevertheless, again, let's just keep in mind that DEI does not benefit us. It benefits white women more. I'd imagine white men at this point, right? I look for Jasmine Crockett, sassafras sister girl Crockett. She's always got something to say. So I was like, well, surely because, Frisco is closer to her district there in Dallas. Surely she's got something to say. I looked and I looked all over and I didn't see nothing. Right. But she's talking about immigrants and, basically we ain't going to be picking going out in the fields. We done picking cotton. Right. She's still romping and stomping for the immigrants. I went on the NAACP's stuff. And they're talking about Trump taking your 401k because, the stock market is trash right now. And then I went to the CBC and then they are talking about nothing. There's nothing on their side at all since I think last year. I don't think they've said anything, or maybe earlier this year. They're not really saying anything. Congressional Black Caucus, of course. And then the NAACP's president, he's also talking about the, 401k, and they're just kind of retweeting each other. Cory Booker is promoting a movie called Street Fight or something like that. I went on his stuff. And of course, he's still riding on the high of his 25-hour waste of breath, space, and life last week. Hakeem Jeffrey, he's taking up space. He ain't talking about it. Then let's see here. Lee Merritt. Now I want to stop on Lee Merritt for a second. Now, attorney Lee Merritt, who is I think he's here in Houston or Dallas, but he's in Texas nevertheless. So I saw that he made a post about Carmelo Anthony's situation yesterday. He said that he was supposed to be meeting with them today. Now, within his post, he talked about Carmelo having one of the highest bail amounts. He even talked about the highest bail amount in juxtaposition to a lot of the people who have harmed us, like Amber Geigers and all these other people. Their bails was like 200,000, 300,000. But again, Carmelo's is $1 million. So he was basically talking about, obviously, it's racist, and that, they're trying to play the case out in the public eye. The prosecutors, they're wrong. Basically, I'm paraphrasing what he's saying for going after Carmelo the way they have, basically trying to rob him of due process. So again, he said he was going to meet with them. So, it's a lot of people on the comment section saying, oh, why would they do that? They need you on the case of da-da-da-da-da. They're chipping this, that, and the other. And I'm like, now people going to be in here with the drama, causing drama and division. Y'all don't know why those people, whatever. No. Okay, wait. So let me digress. So he takes the post down. And then he makes another post saying, okay, the family's request, they asked me to take the post down, and they're canceled their meeting with me. So of course everybody's in the comment section. They're getting all mad. Oh, why would they do this? And I'm like, nah, this is just some straight up drama. This is causing drama because now people are, arguing about who should be represented in this, that, and the other. Then I thought about it. I was like, okay, well, if Karmelo was my kid, I wouldn't want a lawyer or anybody loudmouth blabbing, oh, just that, and the other. I meet with them, man. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Because these people are already mad. They already doing the most. Let's move in silence here. So he, basically says, oh, well, I'm going to keep him in prayer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this man just made this all about him. So he took that post down. Now he's doing other stuff. So that's Lee Merritt. Then Jamal Bryant, he's going at the target. I looked on his stuff. I didn't see anything on his TikTok. I didn't see anything on his Twitter X. It was his podcast. He's talking about his podcast, I guess he's got now, but nothing about Carmelo. Ben Crump, nothing. I haven't seen anything. Joy Reid, she's talking about Trump. Roland Martin, Trump. I even went to look at the Defiant Lawyer, when he's not picking cotton. And he's talking about Trump and Black people not showing up to the protest. So the reason why I mentioned all those people is because I kind of feel like I did some due diligence with the Black misleadership that's always out there in the forefront saying this, saying that, they romping and stomping and this, that. But nothing about this kid. Now they talk about all the other stuff. So like I said, maybe they're having a secret meeting somewhere we don't know about. Maybe they're galvanizing, they're organizing. I don't know. But I just find it kind of weird. And then when I think about it, I'm like, well, are they allowed to talk about it? Because listen, at the end of the day, we know who most of their paymasters are. Most of their paymasters are, them folks. And there's certain things they can and cannot say. Right now, there's a lot of people who do not look like us that are angry that Carmelo's family has raised the amount of money that they've raised. I've seen a lot of people that do not look like us and some that look like us, believe it or not, that I have taken the liberty to block. Wanting to get the Give, Send, Go. They want to get that taken down because the GoFundMes have been taken down. They want to get it taken down. It's not right. It's not fair. Mind you, they raised all that money for Daniel Penny, Kyle Rittenhouse, and a whole host of other people who have done some funky things to us. They didn't have a problem with it, but they want it taken down. So I don't know. I just want to ask y'all, have y'all seen them anywhere? Hey, Thunder, how you doing? Rosalind, what's going on with you? Biz, what's going on? Donovan and Jessica Diaries, how you doing?
Hey, you bring up some great points, and that's the thing. Sometimes you got to sit back and just kind of be in silence and kind of watch how things play out. And if you watch how things play out, you will notice certain things that are different from let's say a previous case or whatever. And, I'll use Jasmine Crockett as an example. This woman mouth is like diarrhea. She is just running at the mouth all the damn time. And now here's a young Black man, regardless of, what side you think this man, if he's guilty or innocent, and she has nothing to say. And that makes me pause and say, a black man is being accused of something. You have nothing to say, but you have everything to say about illegal migrants. You have everything to say about what Donald Trump is going to do in the 2025 and slave patrols. And you're still spewing out all of these lies that hasn't come true one bit. And here we have another young person that is facing the justice system that is being stacked against him. And none of the black misleadership is saying one way or the other what they feel about the case. Yes, can you influence a case by putting it in the public sense? Yes, you can. But a good lawyer knows in a situation like this, Dimitri, if I was his lawyer, and I took mostly aviation law in college, but law is law. One of the things I want to do is I want to delay this trial as long as possible, because memories fade. Things get, the longer it goes, the better your chances. So again, I always look around and I say, and I'm gonna use this as an example. Right now, the Democrats say that their hands are tied. They don't have any leverage. There's nothing that they can do. Donald Trump has got all the government, right? Okay. If you agree with them, fine. But ask yourself this: wasn't Mitch McConnell in the minority? And did he not deny at every angle he could the Democrat and the Obama agenda? And did he not deny Obama, who has the unilateral right to appoint a Supreme Court judge? How did a person in the minority have all of that power, and yet the Democrats get in there and they can't do anything? So what I'm saying to you guys is this: if you have a bunch of black representatives or just people that keep running at the mouth, and they can talk about this and they can talk about that, why aren't they talking about their feelings in regards to making sure that this young black man get justice? We know that, that they're not the judge, jury, and executioner. But as a legislator and a politician, you do have a bully pulpit, and you can at least make sure that the powers that be know that you're watching this case. But again, I look at that an example, like the Democrats are talking about they can't do anything, whatever. Do you guys really want to know why the Democrats keep saying they can't do anything? Good cop, bad cop. Both parties are owned by corporate interests. Why would they do anything? It's all a game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mad Dog, how you doing? It says it's real sad that Negroes are mad at all the brothers and sisters supporting Karmelo. Yeah, I've actually had to block a few people. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not. Get somebody else to go with the back and forth and the why and the don't do it. I told somebody this morning, keep on block you. And this person I know very well.
And I said I was sorry, and let's move on. Jeez.
But you know what though? Maybe they're silent because it's not the usual, I don't want to call them suspects, but the usual black misleadership that's been called to help. That I've never even heard of Derek Walpole. I've never heard of him before, but it sounds like he's a dynamic lawyer. But maybe because it's not the usual, group of people that were called to the rescue, if you will. So maybe they're just kind of like, well, we're not going to say anything. Again, Lee Merritt, he was going to meet with them, but he got the run in his mouth and they canceled the meeting. It's like, why you got to get all up on social media? Just meet with them, meet with them and figure things out. But you got to get the yipping yo yapper all up on Instagram and stuff. It's like, man, come on now, so I don't know. But let's see who else is here. Herschel, how you doing? Black Mama, what's going on with you? Herschel, he says, are we talking about the same kid that saved another kid from drowning 3 years ago? Yes. That is him. Karmelo saved the kid, I guess, when he was 14, somebody from drowning. And that person's mother says, I support Karmelo. I know a lot of y'all are mad, but I stand with him. He saved my child. So, yes. That Rosalind says, really don't need a BS help from Crump. Yeah, and, he's a civil attorney anyway, so I don't know how much he would be on there. So he would be going after money. Karmelo needs a criminal defense attorney, so that may be why. But at least say something about it, right? I don't know. They're just nobody. I haven't seen it again. Maybe they're not going to say anything. Who knows? But yeah, I just kind of find it eerie. The Jessica Diary says, yeah, right, laugh out loud. Joanne, how you doing? Says, why couldn't the white boy just mind their own business? Why start stuff? Bullies don't always scare people. They started.
Wait. I got a quick answer for you for that. White people minding their own business? Has that ever
Well,
happened in the United States?
yeah, that's you know, and again, like I said, all that will be, I guess, litigated. All that will be litigated in the court of law. Right now they're trying to get his bail down, but I get where you're going with that. Thunder, you says DK, you said it right. The black misleadership. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Jessica says, I don't think they care enough to talk about it. Yeah, maybe it's like, well, what's in it for me type of thing, You said it. Tracy says that part. Are they allowed? I don't know. Are they? That's what I'm wondering. Are they allowed not to? Because I really believe a lot of them get their talking points. Daryl says to those complaining about the GoFundMe, white supremacy raised almost $1 million for Luigi Mangione. He says they raised funds for Zimmerman, Chauvin, and Rittenhouse and Penny. Yeah, but that's how they are, though. I mean, my thing is, are we really surprised? Are we really shocked and surprised that that's what they're trying to do? I'm not surprised. I don't even let it bother me at all. I know a lot of people are bothered by it. It doesn't bother me because when you know, right? It's like, why would you expect anything different from them? That's where you really should be surprised. Like, why are you surprised that they are keeping in lockstep with the talking points of white supremacy? It's all right when they do it, but when it's done to them, it's not all right. So yeah. Biz, you say the hands and the puppet aren't allowed to talk about it. They were quiet with Kyrie Irving situation. Yep. And then, of course, Kanye, when they was originally doing it to him, he's back on top now. But back then they weren't saying nothing. In fact, they were denouncing him and all kind of stuff. Matthew said they talk about all illegal aliens and their children. Yep. Complex Blackness, how you doing? Long time no see. He says all of the names they could have named this kid. Yeah, I haven't seen it. A free mind, how you doing? Long time no see. Says Demetri, I believe that their handlers have whispered in their ear not to do anything for their constituents. But the real question is, I ask, is how do our so-called leadership live with themselves when they cashing them checks from their paymasters? That's how. JJ says them folks run and fund all black organizations. You ain't lying. Ali, he says our black men, boys have to deal with a lot. Don't get me started on how black women have been the most disrespectful. Some of us will have to leave behind right is right and wrong is wrong. Yep, I say it all the time. There needs to be an island for people who ain't gonna get on the same page. Just go to that island and y'all could do all the foolishness you want to do. Beverly, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. James, what's going on with you? Says sorry. Same story, DK. He says our black leaders just won't do right by us, so we're gonna have to vote them out. Yeah, and of course we know that they're not our leaders. This is more like a appointed title at this point for them. They're thinking they're the black leadership, and it's like, first of all, you can't call yourself a leadership if you ain't leading us nowhere.
So basically, you're saying like when The Rock calls himself the people's champion, when there's always a title, they give themselves the people's champion. I'm the people's champion, da. Yeah. You don't have a title, but you just gave yourself one. I represent the people.
Yeah, it's like when a ratchet calls herself a diva. Panther Strike says the platform that is accepting donations for Karmelo has said they will not take down his page. Karmelo's family has the right to raise bail for their son. Yes, I did see that. So yeah, they're just mad. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice because I almost said something. But my grandma used to say this. How about this? She says, being mean will make you ugly. I'm going to leave it at that. Ali says, and getting Drake's vibes from some when Drake referenced Kendrick rapping like he wants to get the slaves freed. Yeah, I guess I get where you're going with that. And that was an interesting development in that case too. Says that Drake's case can go on and he could dig all up in UMG's business. Very monumental part that's taking place.
And I want you guys to be aware and watching and monitoring. Not saying this is going to happen, but it's kind of, if something happens to Drake, I don't think it's a coincidence.
I think he bought himself some protection. I think I think I have my theories, but I don't want to get sidetracked with that. Maybe we'll talk about it in a little bit. But I have my theories. I think he like a superfly. He put out a contract. He says if something happened to me, something gonna happen to your big-legged daughter. I think that's kind of what Drake did. I have my theories. Queen Adaya says, what's really sad is how there will always be a difference in the legal system. They are shielding their own pockets. We need to hear from the melanated media. Nah, they ain't going to say nothing either because they haven't been told they could, right? Hey, Opal, how you doing? Hope you're doing well.
And, yeah, and you got to think about it. You know, how do you give a presidential candidate a honest interview and that candidate paid you? That's why Al Sharpton, your boy Ricky Smiley, all of these people got paid to softball her these questions, and thus we got Donald Trump.
Yeah. Thunder says, am I the only one that's glad that everyone is taking notes on which black leaders, quote unquote, are speaking out or stepping up? Let's vote them out. They have to go. It's time for a change. It's a new day. I totally agree. We're definitely getting quite the awakening here. All right, let me skip down. Let's see who else is on here. I apologize for being behind Joanne. Did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says, anyone can send money to his parents and his cause. That is true. If all else fails, that can be done. Hey, Bakari, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Black Mama says they are not black leaders. They are black lead you off the cliff. You ain't lying. Gary Mack, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Miss KJS, KJ Smooth. I hope I said that right. Or Mr. KJ Smooth. How you doing? Says it's been twice since I could vote. The Democrats had the presidency. He says, and both chambers of Congress and can't ever do anything. Yeah, but then they'll turn around and say, oh, you know, the Republicans wouldn't let us. It's like, knock it off. Y'all had some power for some time, you know, in all factions of Congress, and y'all just decided to play games.
Yeah, but again, the minority, you know, you're in the minority and they can block legislation like that. But yet now the Democrats act like they have no power when they do have minority power in Congress. There's certain things that they can do, just like Mitch McConnell did, to obstruct and stop the steamroll of legislation. But they keep us fighting each other while they're both owned by corporate hacks, and they're just sitting there going,
yeah, that is true. Hey, Kellen, y'all still in Ethiopia? When y'all coming back? Y'all know who Kellen is. He is the man behind the magic. He is the man behind the African Diaspora News Channel that makes everything shake and bake and wake. Well, whenever y'all come back, I hope y'all having a great time there in Ethiopia. I've seen some of the pictures and it looks like you guys are having a ball. Sagittarius Goddess, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Lily, what's going on with you? Saint Michael of Sigarello, how you doing? He said it's not a good look. Not sure what that means, but how you doing? Lafayette, how you doing? He says they ain't trying to mess up their little bag. There you go. Brother Todd, how you doing? He says peace to me, turn Donovan. A whole lot of re-elections coming up. All those politicians treading lightly on what they speak on. There you go. They you know, they're gonna be real tight-lipped about certain things, but you're absolutely right. They don't want to rock the boat too much, but you know what? They still need the black vote. And that's when we should really be showing up, is during the state and local elections. The federal is cool, but you know, if we voted some people in there with some real backbones, they could say, Trump, I hear what you're doing, but we're not going to allow you to tank the stock market. Thank you. You know what I mean? You know, but that's why we got to vote on the state and local election. So
right. But here's the thing about the state and the stock market, though, and I hear people say that a lot, Demetra. And I was arguing with the guy this morning about it. I said, "Do you have any stocks?" He goes, "Well, no, but he's going to stock this, you know, drop the stock market. So what? You don't have any stocks. So what is it? What is it to you?"
well, I'm glad that you brought it up. Rosalind says it's not exactly election time either when they love to blow hot air. Yeah, so it's some elections, but definitely next year. Well, even though you don't have any stocks in the stock market, eventually that stuff will hurt you. You might have a 401k, you know, and those businesses that are tied to the stock market, you know, I saw where the only billionaire, one of the only billionaires that's in that, you know, billionaire class that did not lose money was Warren Buffett. The rest of them lost billions of dollars. Mark, Jeff, obviously Elon, they've lost billions of dollars. Warren Buffett is the only one that made money. And it makes sense because Warren Buffett, you know, he started trading the stock market, I think, when he was in the fourth grade, and he's like 90 now or something like that. So he understood, he was able to do some foreshadowing. But even if you don't have any stocks, it will hurt you. In some way, shape, or form, the losing $trillions, $6 trillion Thursday and Friday, that's going to hurt everybody eventually.
You guys want to hear something crazy? If you guys go on Google right now, even if you go on YouTube, you will see that the Tesla trucks are stacking up, and right now Tesla will not take back as a trade the Tesla trucks. That's how damaging that they're getting in regards to hurting Tesla.
Oh yeah, it's that's how you wake people up though. You hit them in the pockets. Opal, you says Reverend Al Sharpton is quiet as well as Roland Martin. All the Democrats shields, all these black churches and celebrities are quiet and missing in action. Don't hear anything from them. Yeah, but if it's Kamala or somebody, they're gonna be screaming to the hilltops. So let's see. FM, how you doing? Long time no see. He says, where is Jasmine Crockett? He said, this is in Texas. Yeah, that's closer to her than it is any of us, or me anyway, And she's talking about the migrants and us not picking cotton, and because they need to come back, I guess, and do it is what she's trying to say. I don't know.
See, and to me, listen to what she's saying, you guys. She's saying that she is for paying people below minimum wage if that's what it takes. What is it with our boule class to where they don't remember what it's like to be a slave? Not that they should remember, but as a black person, you should remember how to be a slave. I'm for legal immigration, but if you're going to bring these illegal people here, I want you to pay them as if you're going to pay a regular American. I'm not for slave wages, but listen to what this fool is promoting. Oh, it's okay, as y'all not going to pick it, so we going to give them slave wages. If you're a Christian, and I know a lot of us aren't, if you're a person of righteousness, I want a person to be able to feed their family, not give them slave wages. What kind of human being are you?
Absolutely. Let's see here. Skipping on down. Brother Easy says D. Lots more unsubstantiated claims out there. The most interesting, I think, is the toxicology report. More people saying he was under the influence of something, reason for his aggressive actions. Yeah, and nobody really knows. That all has to come out in court. People are just running their mouths. That's why I said, I'm not going to try to litigate any of it, as I don't know anything, other than what they've officially said, and it's not much, right? Opal says, don't hear anything from the NAACP, CBC, and the Black Church. No, they're relatively quiet. I got what you meant, Thunder. Let's see. And Buckhorse says, and where? He says, I saw somebody stole. What you talking about? Okay.
He's talking about that. I think it was alleging the Hillary thing. Her having a hot sauce on politicians.
I was like, I don't know what happened to your hot sauce. Joanne says, our so-called Black leaders are no more than African leaders with their people. Okay, so you're talking about how they are in Africa with their people. Is that what you're saying? Yes, Thandi says, whoever this new site is should really appreciate that they're standing on business. Yeah, they're like, he does have a right to, they have a right to raise money for his defense. Queen Adiah says, right, Dimitri, the Most High don't like ugly. Yep, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Mo Bay, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is on here. D from NYC, what's going on? It says they're saying that somebody leaked the family's address and they've been receiving death threats. As I saw that there's a lot of heinous things that's going on in regards to the family, but that's to be expected, right? But we need some people out there that's going to give them protection, because it's not surprising. Jacoby, how you doing? Says, and they're still mad from losing the election. So you're talking about who was this they? Sunlight, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. St. Michael says, I wouldn't be jumping on the Carmelo Anthony bandwagon this quickly. I'd be patient and make sure I'm not sticking my foot in my mouth first. You know what? I'd rather stick my foot in my mouth than to see a young brother go up the river, because we waiting to see. Those people don't wait to see. They don't wait to see. They spring into action right away. They've already considered that at Austin, and RIP to him, they've already considered him to be innocent and that he didn't do anything. And they demonized and deemed this brother Karmelo to hell and jail. But yet we supposed to wait back and see? Why? Why do we need to wait and see anything? See, that's the problem with our people. We too busy, and I'm not saying it's about you, so don't. I'm just speaking in general, okay? Because I don't want to do the Tasmanian devil. But we got to unlearn that. We have to unlearn. Well, I got to wait. And listen, I'm not saying we should be on board with all kind of foolishness, but come on, man. That's like, at what point do we say, I'm going to get behind my people and let the chips fall where they may? If that brother is wrong, then we get to that bridge. We'll cross it when we get there. But right now, ain't no time to be hiding in the bushes. Ain't no time to be sitting, at the coffee table talking about I'm gonna wait and see. No, because imagine if that was you. Would you want somebody to say, "Well, I'm just gonna wait and see," and not speak too quickly? Hell no. If Demetri K get in a bad way, I want y'all to speak quickly, please and thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like I said, I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. We don't know the parameters of it, but I do believe every American deserves a fair damn trial. And the only way this young man's going to get a fair trial is if he has the resources to hire a good lawyer. Too many of us, and again, the fathers are absent. Our ladies, our sons get in trouble. And because we do not have resources, what are they forced to do? Take a damn sorry ass plea deal and spend 10 years of their life incarcerated when they could have had, a better outcome in regards to their plea deal. We really got to get out of that mindset of whatever. I don't know if this man's innocent or guilty, but like Demetri said, I'm not going to wait and, well, the public defender is going to defend him, and see, look, he was guilty or at whatever. We also could have thought OJ was guilty, but look at the outcome that happened with his case.
Yeah, we've got to unlearn that. We have got to unlearn that. Imagine how much better off we would be if we would stop doing that. They don't do that. They move in with the viciousness, against our people and for their people, no matter what they have done. You tell me a man take somebody's life on a subway that was not touching him at all, take his life, and they rally behind him and he get off and they raise money for him. And we talk about, I will speak too quickly, I want to wait and see. Nah, I'm going to say this right now. We don't need nobody, and I'm not saying this about you, but we don't need nobody who's scared. Okay. As I said, all the scary people, y'all can go over there to the island with all the other people. That's with the foolishness. If you're scared, stay in the house. Don't come off the porch. This ain't for you. And Thunder says, I buy stocks, and right now, in my opinion, the entire market is going on sale, and I'm back. He says, I'm backing up the truck.
That's right. Okay. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. You got it. You got it. And speaking of that last thing, again, Amber Geiger, look how quick they were to, be lenient on her. Yeah, she made a mistake. Oh my God. They're quick, and they're still trying to get her out of prison.
Absolutely. And let me catch up, you guys. I see I'm behind in the comments. I saw something about Angie Stone. Yes, UMG did Angie Stone something awful from what she is saying. Yeah, every logical thinker. How you doing? Says Jasmine Crockett is busy choreographing her next TikTok. Right, she's trying to come up and be famous. Right. Okay, so let's see here, Mr. South Carolina. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says black politicians. Yes, they play by white etiquettes. You ain't lying. And I see y'all comments, y'all, but let me get to the bottom because I am behind. Sylvester, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Who else is on here? Ona, how you doing? Says, has a police report been reviewed? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. So that's why, I said a lot of people out there talking and saying stuff, what they think they know. We'll know when they actually start making official statements. I saw his lawyer was like, I'm still looking at everything. So he hasn't really came out with, laying anything out or anything like that. He says, I do believe it was self-defense. That's pretty much all he said. FBA in North Carolina, I think that is. How you doing? It says, remember liberal black women and men said they would sit it out if a black man is attacked or die because Karmelo lost. Yeah, and that could be it too. I thought about that. Maybe that's it. But they a sorry bunch of people. They never did nothing for us. No way. And we ain't gonna expect them to do nothing now. They just mad because they couldn't vote for a woman who was gonna rock us back to sleep. And whatever. Y'all go, they can go the 92%, 78%. Y'all could go over there to the island with the rest of the foolishness. You've been banished. Normal, how you doing? Says, yeah, where are our so-called leaders? We're trying to figure that out. And of course, we don't think they're our leaders, but they do, right? Brenda, how you doing? Says, scared. You said it, I didn't. Thunder says, if they're receiving those threats, I sincerely hope that family is prepared and ready. Yeah, we need the people, some people out there to protect them. That's all I'm going to say. And I think, that's probably going to happen still. How you doing? Let's see. Yaya says, maybe Marvin Sapp. Maybe Marvin Sapp could help raise funds. Yeah, he's in Dallas. That's close to him. So I don't know. Maybe he will. Mission Visions, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Matthew, you crazy.
Isn't TD Jakes out there too?
Yeah, the Potter's house. They're out there. Joanne, you said it. I did not. I'm just gonna keep reading. A child of God said, "This ain't Jim Crow. He's innocent until proven guilty." Absolutely. Queen Adia says their track record says it all. Snatching melanated people from jail and having street justice with strange fruit from the tree. I got you. I got exactly. Enuma, thank you. Ryan, how you doing? Says that's why some slaves didn't make it when Harriet came calling, and that's why Nat Turner ended up the way he did because they was like, "Massa, there he is," and was proud about it. Norma says Carmelo Anthony needs protection, so let's give the brother protection. Time to stop acting scared. Come on now. Jessica says, I agree. I do believe in having the facts, but we know the system is unjust regardless of the facts. Therefore, we should support our own, especially minors. Come on now. Let's see. Easy says, those are the attitudes online. Dangerous rhetoric. Yeah, I just be blocking them. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Keziah, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It says, that's right. I stand with my people. St. Michael says only 8 Atlanta media is giving this any real coverage beyond local news. Yeah, well, we don't expect the media to give it any coverage because the media has never been for us. In fact, the media, the mainstream media that I see talking about it, they're just rage engagement, if you will. They're doing it for clicks, likes, and views. They're making the titles very incendiary to gin up the mob, and so they could cash a check at the end of the day. And as I said too, and we've always said this, that their news is not exciting with just them. They have to sprinkle a little bit of us in there to make people want to click because we are where it's at, whether it's good or bad, right? They need us for people to be interested in a funky little media, publication. So anyway, Black Rose, how you doing? Let's see. Jacoby says defamation lawsuits need to happen. Slander, it might, right? Mission Vision says I'm gonna wait and see if he punches me first, and then you don't wake up shaking my head. They're so foolish. Yeah, it's like, no, we're not gonna be doing that. Jobo, how you doing? Says both fathers are the spokesperson for each family, and that's the way it should be. The father should be out in the forefront, and it's that's refreshing to see. Lene, how you doing? Says, can you guys include his GoFundMe link in the chat? I lost my cybersecurity last week due to the discrimination, but I would still like to make a donation.
Yeah, I put it in the chat, and I'm adding it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's also pinned on it should be on YouTube. Shaniqua, how you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Nathaniel, what's going on? Says I agree too because I normally see black men are guilty until proven innocent. Yeah, that's the way the system is designed. He automatically guilty. Y'all know how many black men did not never see no courtroom back in the day, and even hell sometimes today. They just take them right on out there and do what they need to do to them and administer street justice. And the police know, sheriff, the judges, they all know. And most of the time they was there. They was there getting them a souvenir. So ain't nothing changed. Yanni, how you doing? He says, good evening, Demetri and Donovan. In the chat, he says, Demetri Runaway Slaves gave you a shout out on his platform. He did. I feel very honored. Tell him I said, run up. I'm just playing. Thank you, Shaniqua. Brenda says, I hope this young fella get a dream team lawyers. I do too. From what I've seen of his lawyer, he don't seem like he's soft. You see, I love a level-headed man, one that ain't just from what I could see, he was like, listen, I believe he acting in self-defense. I'm gathering all the evidence, so I could come get my things together. He ain't out there diarrhea at the mouth trying to make it all about him, and that's good. Get you somebody that's not trying to, it's all about me. Get you somebody that's like, listen, my job is to make sure they good. That's my job. Don't worry about me, okay? You worry about me when you see me standing up there in court doing what I need to do, right? So, yeah. Easy says, deceased family raised close to $1 million and counting. There you go. So it's like, mind y'all business. Y'all raising $1 million. Do what you need to do. And, I'm not saying they shouldn't have the money. Hell, they lost a son. They'll never get him back. But the other thing, too, is, with the money we've raised, it's great. But, man, it could be better. We should be at $1 million, too. I'm just saying. Panther says, family, anyone talking about let's wait and see is a damn sellout. You don't allow any of our people to be in prison for defending themselves. Dude, shut the hell up and get out of this forum. Hashtag free Karmelo. Man. What do you mean? UA is well. I ain't gonna, never mind. S. Edgy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sylvester says, Demetri free Carmelo Anthony today and exonerate him of all charges that could affect his ability to succeed in God's name. I co-sign that. Mr. KJ, he says, The white man blew up the daycare, but the white media was still concerned about O.J. Simpson. You ain't lying. Jacoby says defamation lawsuits to start happening on these social media and media platforms for slandering Karmelo and Karmelo's family. Well, you got to remember too, at the end of the day, a lot of these people are just trying to eat. They're trying to rake up the views, and so they can get paid. The more views you get, the more you get paid. So of course they're gonna use Karmelo as bait and to gin up the mob and to feed red meat to their viewers. It's sort of like what Roland Martin does with his viewers. He keeps them angry, so they'll continue to vote for more of nothing. Sunlight, he says, who did something to Angie Stone? Well, before she died, she did a video saying that UMG basically ripped her off and owed her a whole bunch of money. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going on with that, but UMG seems like they got a lot to be answering for. So as I said, maybe if we have a little bit of time, I'll get into my thoughts about the whole Drake and UMG lawsuit. I think it's very interesting. Again, the judge said that he can go forward with digging in a business discovery, trying to figure out what's going on. So that's huge. And it sounds like too UMG was trying to settle. That's what I heard. Don't quote me hard on that, but I heard that they were trying to settle with Drake for a low number. He's like, no, y'all owe me, I guess, almost 500 million, and I want it.
See, and the music industry always has two books. They've been finding that out, how they have, throughout history of music, they've always had two books of what really owed to the artist and what they actually gave the artist. A lot of movies out there that kind of prove that. And I'm like I said, I don't wish anything bad on Drake, but like I said, I hope he does have that security that he needs. And one thing about security is, especially when you talk about these type of numbers of money, the threat is always from the inside. John F. Kennedy didn't get killed because of other people killed them outside, but how did they change the parade route? How did they take the bubble top off? It's always from the inside.
Yes, and Mike, how you doing? He says, where are the student body witnesses? Well, it sounds like they've been talked to or whatever, but a lot of them probably just are told not to speak, and it's good that they're not, because it's just it'd be a lot of confusion going on. It's better that they do it, the right way, and we need to raise as much money for this his young brother, to make sure that he gets all the help that he needs. There's no shortcuts, or not saying that the people who are representing him would, but he just needs to be able to have what he everything he needs. Sister Shirley says Jasmine Crockett is making me sicker than Kamala did. She definitely needs to take several seats. Yeah, she's a mess. Samuel C, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Easy says D, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior of Democrats. Do I need to say more? Nope, you said all you needed to say. And Bakari says many of us still have enslaved minds, and it's sad. It's sad. Brother Jonell, how you doing? Hope you're doing well this fine evening. Let's see. Charles, how are you? He says the truth is we scared to die. Hell, somebody got to do it. We all are, Ali said, Dimitri and Donovan, I heard that they're shutting down Hollywood and production is moving to Texas. Have you noticed the difference? Well, it's not necessarily moving to Texas. They're trying to actually pass legislation in Texas to make it more beneficial for the movie production industry, to catch tax breaks and things like that, instead of having to go to Hollywood and different things. It's also known that a lot of movies that are set they're filmed in Texas aren't really filmed in Texas, because it's not financially beneficial for them to do it. So they're trying to pass a state bill in order to make it more lucrative for people to make movies out here.
Yeah. It's so expensive to do production in California. I mean, and we got all the homeless people out here. You can't even go into the desert in California without seeing homeless encampments in the desert. But real quick, Snow White, they actually did their production in England, and they took a $50 million tax break by going to England. And even after a $50 million tax break, that movie did not make any money. So yeah, a lot of production. California is just, it's way too expensive now to do production in California. They usually go to Vancouver, Australia sometimes. And that's another thing. We got all this land out here in the United States. We need to start doing our productions here in the United States. Get these people working.
Absolutely. Rosalind says the Metcalfs were liars, are white supremacist liars. They caused this to happen. Yeah, at the end of the day, I I don't think people deserve to be expired, if you will. But you messing with people. You can't mess with people and then dictate how they respond. Everybody ain't gonna respond to you just messing with them. Some people gonna respond with something you never imagined they would, right? Average logical thinker, thank you so much for the donation. Love it. Appreciate you. Says, I wish he would have threw hands instead of stab, but he's due fair representation. I ain't seen this many people support a black like this. I think it's the result of Trump being in office. Finally, we getting it 100%. Yeah. You know, and the sad part about it is Karmelo won't be the first and he ain't gonna be the last. And it's really sad. And but I think this one obviously for like you said, I think Trump and white versus black type of thing grabbed national attention. So it's just what we're dealing with now. But I wish all that are in the judicial system that are innocent. I wish that they were free. I really do. It's heartbreaking just to think about it. Um, Diane, how you doing? The brat, what's going on with you? Says a prosecutor, Linda Don Lakoski for Ahmad Ari, rather. Case was amazing. Wish we could get her to defend Karmelo. Well, his lawyer seemed like from what I seen, he didn't really say much, but he said I'm processing everything. So, you don't want him to be out there speaking and he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Black Rose, but I get what you're saying. Black Rose says nice football player would have said hello and kept it moving, but they were bullies. That's what they're saying, But again, I guess all that's going to come out. Brother Jonell says we got to recognize the colonizer's voice when we hear it coming out of black images. Come on now. Says if they're not speaking on behalf of black defense and black advancement, they're not moving for black liberation. You better say it again. You're absolutely right. Let's see here. Y'all, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says we have to protect the children at all costs. I mean, I just can't believe we're like we need to wait and see. Like I said, I'm not saying there's not situations where kids do things and it's blatant and it's obvious, but something like this, what are we waiting and seeing for? We see how the other side is acting, and even though Austin's father says, please do not politicize this or make this a racial thing. People are doing that anyway. So with that, you see how the other side is acting. They want to see this brother strung up. And yes, I did see one of the people that I guess maybe they're helping to represent Karmelo talk about all the things that the family's experiencing. They're getting all these images with, shanks in black kids' heads and talk about they're threatening them and they have been doxxed and all kind of stuff, And you know who's doing that. Right, but they say they care about kids or people they shouldn't be harmed, but yet they want to harm somebody else, especially over somebody they don't even know, and they don't even know any of the facts. But that's just how they are.
Yeah, and I just want to add this real quick. We have to start really prioritizing our legacy, not just Donovan's legacy, not just Demetra's legacy. I was talking to Demetra this morning about her legacy. We got to get her daughter, on the right trail. It's about legacy. If we don't, the new black media, we are taking a stand now because we can't afford to take a stand 30 years from now. That's a 30-year head start or a 30-year loss that we could have made a stand now. And, and I got a lot of friends that be cursing me out and telling me, oh, you've gone crazy and this and that and this. No, I'm fighting for my legacy. I'm fighting so that my kids can afford a house down the road if they want a house, if they want to do the things that we're supposed to be able to do. We're supposed to be getting better, not getting worse. But if you notice, black people, we are getting worse. We are losing our wealth. We are losing everything. And yet we have all this representation. So we have to prioritize these young people, because I'm not saying it's over for us, but it's over for us. I lived a great life, whatever, done it, been there, done it all. But what about my grandchildren? I don't have any yet. But what about my grandchildren? Are they going to have the same thing? Are they going to deal with the retruncing of white supremacy? Why should they have to deal with it when we're supposed to be taking care of that right now? That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. FBA Justice, thank you for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says racism had Carmelo Anthony guilty before the facts were out. If you're black and guilty in that system, says I'm sending Bill Money Man's. I think he meant bail money. Is that what I'm saying? I'm sending Bill Money Man's. I'll be fine. I'm my brother's keeper. So you say you're sending Bill money. Okay, well don't put yourself in a bad way, but I love
bail
your pat. Huh?
Bail money.
Okay. He says Bill, so maybe he's saying Bill. I don't know, but I love it. I love your passion. I really do. Because like you said, I'm my brother's keeper. And that's the way it should be. I'm my brother's keeper. I'm my sister's keeper, right? Razande, how you doing? Long time no see. He says, you can't give up money for a failed cause playing in, you can rather give up money for a failed cause playing Indian woman, but you can't even give this young brother $10. Make it make sense. Yeah. Where are they at? I don't know. I'm not saying that the Divine Nine aren't, in it. Maybe they are on an individual basis, but I haven't seen anything about their organization saying, "Hey, let's get on a Zoom call and raise some money." Not even just for Karmelo, but a whole host of other people. And we should be doing that. Trying to help our people as much as we can. Percy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Anuma, you says the Stockholm Syndrome is a stronghold. You ain't lying. May, how you doing? Says these people are paid to do nothing for their own people. And if they do, there are usually negative consequences. So they take the money and keep their mouth shut, which is why we should stop voting them in. And Norma, I thank you for asking everybody to donate whatever they can. The link is in the comment section for Karmelo. He's going to need all of the help he can get. Joanne says grassroots are better than GoFundMe. Yeah, he said full fund me, but GoFundMe, is that what you mean? Gotcha. The average logical thinker says, remember, GoFundMe takes 30% of all donations. Yes. So they're going to get, quite a bit of money from, whatever it is. Michael Evans, how you doing? He says, let's not forget about the black twins murdered in Georgia. Yeah. Where is that at? And I honestly need to look a little bit more into it as well. Last time I saw is that they arrested a fireman who was taking pictures and thinking it was funny and sharing it, Samuel, how you doing? Says Phil Scott stated the fact that the Democrats' shield purpose is to do nothing to harm white people and they can't do anything to help black people. Is absolutely right. Absolutely 100% right. Tracy says if he just used his hands, the brother would have jumped in probably. And that's what they were saying. But again, all that is going to come out, right? Let's see. Skipping on down, Brother Perry, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Biz, you says Karmelo reminds me in terms of grades and athletes with potential. Well, that's what they're saying. FBA Justice says White Wealth, Black Labor by Claude Anderson spells out some of the things we need to do for economic survival in the United Snakes of America. Absolutely. Michelle, it says lower taxes is why they do it. More states in America should offer Hollywood a tax break film and their city. It would definitely bring more revenue to that state. Yeah, so that's what they're trying to do. Brother Stephen, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Tell your wife who said hello. Says, I believe them twins did more than they are saying. And anyway, in Cali, I kept a knife on board just in case. Yeah, a lot of people do, right? A lot of people do. All right. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is on here. I don't mean to skip over y'all, but I see I am terribly behind. So I gotta catch up. Who else came on here that I have? Oh, okay. I got to the bottom. Look at that. Yaya says, remember to smash the like button, y'all, please. And thank you. Matthew, you says, any donations from the brown people? Come on now. I saw a post from one of them, brown people. And I don't know, maybe there are. So I don't want to deal in absolutes. But yeah, they're like, some of them are speaking the talking points of white supremacy. What is a kid doing with a knife at the school? It's like, listen, I saw West Side Story. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, what's the kid doing with a taco at the school?
You know what?
And the reason I'm saying that is it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter why he's got it. It's none of your business.
Right. Easy says in Texas, everyone carries knives. Yeah, and some other stuff too, right?
Yeah, they be selling shotguns. It'd be right in the window rack and the back of the truck.
I've seen it. Samuel says the gatekeepers read the scripts and do what they're told. Absolutely. Norma says if Karmelo needs money, give what you can. Every little bit helps. Yep. Go give, send, go. They're said they're going to keep it up because he has the right to raise money to defend himself. Michelle says, I wonder why no students have come forward. I think they probably have already, maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating, giving testimonies. Maybe they were told, hey, don't speak to the media or whatever. And that's good because you don't want all that information out there.
It'll taint the case.
Yeah. So you just kind of really want to keep it in-house for now between the attorneys. Thunder says, whatever happened to the black kids in karate or boxing, this was normal, if not damn near mandatory back then. Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah, just go on YouTube, look up Black Belt Jones, Jim Kelly. Yeah, they had the black school in there, and they're training and stuff. Yeah.
Bitch, you crazy. Talking about the like button is pregnant on your side. Are they having twins? He just says them Browns born with blades. That's all I said. I've seen the West Side Story. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Um,
Norma Hamilton, real quick, she says, "Why don't we have a Black GoFundMe? We should have our own." One of the main problems with that, Norma, is the fact that we don't have any wealth. To start something like that, you got to have some serious money backing it.
Another thing too is, I mean, and you make a good point. We should have that. We should have our own thing. But these so-called black banks and other entities, they're usually backed by people who don't look like us, right? So are they truly black owned? But true indeed, we do have a lot of money in our community to where we could do all that other stuff. We give most of that away though, and giving 97% of that away, yeah, we could save some of that and gear it toward a defense fund, for our people, whatever the case is, because we cannot really depend on the church anymore. Never could depend on any politician to help us. So, as we've been told to do by that of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. I want to make sure I give them the proper titles. We've all been told what to do. Up United Nations, accomplish what you will, do for self. Practice group economics. And as I always say, Ice Cube even had a plan, contract with Black America and all that. So we've been told what to do. We just need to do it. Jacoby says the father knew his son did wrong. That's why he forgave Carmelo Anthony. I think the mother is the one who's the trouble. Yeah, I saw her out there speaking with the other twin when he kind of gave up the game when he said what his brother did. Right, Cynthia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Herschel says those brown people are leading the charge with the pitchforks and torches. Yeah, they better sit down because Trump is looking for some of their peoples. Mrs. South Carolina says intellectual radio podcast host the boss man said if you voted for the bull, you get the horns too. Yeah, everybody getting the horns. Carrie says all the twins I have known, if one is in the fight, both are in it. Yeah, that's usually how it works. Rousing says that's why I don't give a damn about them whining about mass deportation. Weird A songs. He says I will vote for Trump or vote for Trump. Is that a song? And Tracy says karate is still a weapon also. Yep, a better one, but still a weapon. It sure is. Sunlight says 3 the hard way, Jim Kelly. Yes, indeed. Frank, how you doing? Says Donovan ain't but one way to get rid of racism. But quite frankly, I don't think we have the testicular fortitude to do what really needs to be done. Well, I don't want no testicular fortitude, but y'all better get some, okay? FBA Justice says off topic here, but Michelle Obama's podcast is failing. Yeah, I listened to about 2.2 minutes of it, and I was like, this is like watching paint dry.
Well, how does a rich person that invites her rich friends, who wants to hear a podcast where rich people are talking about their many struggles?
Hey, Camilla, he says, can you please tell them we have to stand for our own? We have to stand for our own. Yeah, and I feel sorry for Barack in this way. And y'all, please hear me out because I know some of y'all probably already itching for the keyboard. Feel sorry for Barack because the other day, I guess he was on somewhere and he was talking about how he's still digging himself out of a hole with Michelle. I guess in a low key way, she hated him during his presidency. And, she was mad that he, I guess, just wasn't really there for the family and stuff. And we've also heard how she said she didn't like him much and this, that, and the other. And it's like, God, Lee, yeah, maybe Michelle is a white woman. Because your man is the leader at one point in time of the free world, one of the most powerful men, in symbolism in the world.
The powerful man. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm saying because he got the peoples behind him. And you mad at him? Like, huh? You gonna make him pay for it to where he's even now talking about he's digging himself out of a hole? See, my thing is this. No, I ain't gonna have no thing right now. I'm gonna shut up because I'm getting in trouble. But I feel sorry for him. It's like sometimes we as women, I'm gonna say this as carefully as I can. Okay. That's my time. We've been here an hour. See y'all later. I'm just kidding. And sometimes we as women just need to sit down, say, okay, honey. Oh, you about to go rule the world? Oh, do you want steak or chicken when you get home? How do you want the red lipstick or do you want the lip gloss? You know what I'm saying? Like why we gotta make him pay because he doing the job. Would you have liked him to be, working at the local factory?
No,
I
what
don't
it
know.
is it impacted her career because remember, she hired him when he first came out of law school or whatever, and she was his boss. So she was city girling up with the younger cat.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, girl, you shut up. You know, there's a whole lot of women out there that would take Barack or Obama if you mad with him, but he digging himself out of a hole, man. I'd be like, listen, I'm gonna dig this hole and push you in it if you keep on. Okay. Metaphorically speaking. Hey Larry, how you doing? Says this is why we need to get with Africa and borrow the gold from Africa, and it will help Black Americans. People, all we need is a black bank to set up. Well, the problem with that is, especially when Muammar Gaddafi was trying to do that, the United States government said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, we will not be letting you have billions. You're trying to give it to the Nation of Islam," and the United States government blocked that because one thing they never want is Black people to be self-sufficient, because then there's no dependency on them. So I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, and then the gold, these corrupt African leaders have sold the gold mines and the diamond mines to these white interests and stuff, and so we don't, the gold, they don't even control it because do you guys realize there is so much gold and diamonds in Africa that if they actually took a bunch of it and flooded the market, gold and diamonds would be worthless.
I heard gold was doing well. As a matter of fact, Lene says my Hispanic roommate said this that this case sounds more like school rivalry rather than racism. I had to laugh. Yeah, it's like, come on now.
Yeah, no,
Corey, how you
what I'm
doing?
saying is if you put a bunch of gold on the market, it brings the thing down. The white corporations that control these little interests, they don't they only let a certain amount of gold and diamonds into the market, and that's what keeps it up high. But if they flooded it, gold would be as normal as dirt.
Yeah, hey, Critical, how you doing? And Corey, what's going on with you? FBA, you said I could care less about Barack or Michelle, both serve white supremacy. Yeah, you're right. And now they sticking it to each other. It's like, my God, y'all got all the money in the world. Y'all sitting up there on Martha's Vineyard. Then, you got production company. And you mad at this? Oh, child,
Because she didn't have her career. I didn't get my career, girl. It wasn't right. I sacrificed. I had to sacrifice for this man.
I just don't know. As Eddie says, Donald Trump says no more MAGA, but Mawa. Yeah,
Yep,
make
Mawa.
America wealthy again. Hey, you know what? I'll be listening to all that and you start floating some of them checks, okay? So float some checks, and then I wear a Mawa hat.
Well, wait, you want to hear something crazy? When they were talking about giving checks, guess who was talking about using their minority status that they have in Congress to block it? The Democratic Party. Jeffries and those guys were saying, no, we don't want to give the American people $5,000. They were talking about using their power as the minority group to block Americans getting a stimulus check of $5,000. Isn't that funny how they selectively use it? They can use it here, but they won't use it there. It's amazing.
Pete Burley, what's going on with you? He says women would actually have more power and influence if they did that. See, I'm gonna let you say it. I ain't gonna say it because I've already gotten too much trouble. Hey, oh, I thought that was Facts Not Feeling. I haven't seen him on here yet. Let's see. Joloff Chief. How you doing? Says Obama killed Gaddafi. Yes, he did. His administration and Hillary Clinton, they were all there in the situation room and they watched it all go down and they just lied. Buck Archer says, thank you, Miss Queen K and the Yule Brenner. Everyone was Kung Fu. He says Theodore kicks are faster than lightning. Okay. Gotcha. Ali says Obama didn't get a pass. Sorry, he dropped the ball for black people. He don't get a pass. Oh no, absolutely not. Beverly says, I know Demetri Miss Obama is something else. It's like, I'd have never told nobody that. And you get on the podcast and talk about how you hate your man. It's like, all right, nobody trying to listen to you. We got bigger fish to fry than you hating your man, and y'all got all these millions of dollars. Man, hey, go to the West Wing, sis, and hate him from there. We don't ever need to hear about it, okay? That's how I feel about it.
And let me add to this to it. And I'm just adding this from observing. Michelle Obama is a black woman, right? A married black woman. 70% of black women in the black community aren't married. So who is she talking to?
I don't know. She's talking to white women. That's the stuff they do. I just, Brad was gone all day. He was making all this money, and I was just lonely. I don't know what to do. I went to the mall 3 times today, and I don't know. And I went to Starbucks, and I don't know. I just don't know if I can stay in this marriage because he just doesn't see me. Hey, brother Damon, how you doing? Hope you doing well. Damon says Zelensky brought a platform. I'm sorry, platinum mine in Africa. Let that sink in. Yeah, that news to me, but I'll take your word for it. Tracy says, is it Nambia that's banning U.S. from entering now? I think so. No, I don't know if they're banning U.S. I think it's Nambia, but I don't think it's the U.S. Don't quote me though. Roz, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you. One who cares for asking everybody hit the like button. Cynthia says, "Oh wow, I love the Obamas even after he did Flint's poison water and told a lie, sending prayers to them." Okay. Black Rose says, still trying to understand how white women became a minority. I just told you. Oh, they just don't see me. They just don't understand it. That's how. He says they're always telling us to go back to Africa, but Africa keeping all the countries afloat. You're right. Come on now. Say whoever controls Africa controls the world. If you know, you know. Oh, thank you, Joloff Chief. Let's see here. Brother Damon says, Miss K, you were highlighted on the Runaway Slaves YouTube channel. Y'all got this. Where? What's the title? I love to see it. I love to say, hello, how are you? But yeah. He ain't gonna come to me. I didn't think, hey, he can bite me on the show. I'll come on, I'll be nice. I ain't gonna bite too hard. Herschel says, Donovan, I'm more amazed that the Democrats are opposed to giving the taxpayers our money back. Nah, because if they give you the money, then where's the carrot? How will you bite the carrot?
Right, and then you guys also remember, if they give you the money, you're less dependent, and you're more likely to realize that the Republicans are willing to do more for you than the Democratic Party itself. And the Democratic strategy right now is anything that Trump is trying to do, they want to oppose, especially if it benefits the American people. They want to oppose it.
Thunder says, did you know we were having a fight style that we have a fighting style that originated in the States called 52 blocks. Have you ever heard of Marvin Gatlin? We need more brothers like him. No, I have not, but I'd be interested in finding out more. I could fight, you know, y'all, I could fight. I took a self-defense class in junior high and I never forgot it. I still know how to drop kick a sucker. I know how to kick you in the throat. I know how to gouge your eyes out. Yeah, I know how to break loose. I know how to do all that.
How you gonna get them turkey legs up to somebody's throat? Please explain that to me.
But listen, but if I do get them up to your throat and I wrap them around it, it's especially I've been in the gym too, doing squats and you know all kind of stuff, man. If I get them around you, you can kiss your mama goodbye. Okay. Frank says Obama's do like the Bush Jr. and sit y'all, let me see, and sit your ass down somewhere, right? You ain't heard nothing from Bush Jr. Him and Laura off somewhere. I don't know what they're doing. He's probably drunk. I don't know. But I don't know. You ain't heard much.
He's actually dodging the world court because he was indicted for war crimes, him and Dick Cheney. Notice they don't leave the United States unless they have a United States escort. They do not leave the United States because they could get caught up.
I'm sure they out here in Texas somewhere on a big giant ranch somewhere.
Now, I want you guys to think about that. If Dick Cheney is indicted for war crimes and Kamala just cozied up to him, isn't that strange? And then you wonder why you lost an election.
Right. Yeah, y'all could tell that, you know, the defiant lawyer, he can invite me on if you want to have a good old healthy debate, you know. I'd love to do it, but he ain't gonna do it. See, but whatever. Ali says Neely Fuller, right all day. Democratic and Republicans play two sides of the same coin. Yes, indeed.
I gotta read this. Damon Reeves says, Miss K, can you please wrap your legs around me?
You don't want that to be over. I was lifting weights today. Yesterday at home. I went to the gym today. I didn't feel like going to the gym, but I got weights and stuff here. And I was lifting my my heaviest set. I'm like, oh, they're not heavy anymore because you know I really been going to the gym. I was like, man, I'm getting strong. Easy says D, go to Runaway Slaves on YouTube and look up for the one talking about DEI and Ben Crump. I may entertain it when I'm laying down trying to go to sleep. I need a good nightcap, something to make me doze off. Damon, you crazy. Carrie says, Michelle said that Bush was one of her best friends. Them folks not like us. Now, okay, hold on. Let me lean back and let me lean back up. You mean to tell me that Bush Jr. is your best friend and you sitting up on your podcast with your brother that look like your sister? I shouldn't have said that, but it did. It's too late. Can't take it back. And you talking about how you hate your man, but you love Bush? Something in the milk ain't clean. Michelle, what's wrong with you? I don't know. Gave him a peppermint. What else did you give him? Somebody says W is somewhere eating those bologna and mayo sandwiches. He probably really like that stuff too.
Right. And speaking of like, black women and, influential black women, where's Omarosa? You haven't heard anything from Omarosa since Trump came back in office.
Omarosa got thrown out the White House, literally, okay? And she's probably recovering from bumping her head on the sidewalk when they threw her out, and I'm quite sure that she tried and I recorded some messages and some meetings. Trump's probably said, let me tell you something. Outside of being the president, I do know the mob, okay? You keep on bumping your gums, ma'am. And we ain't heard nothing else from you. You be swimming with the fishes. I'm sure they said something like that to her. Okay. Now I saw a hearing yesterday in regards to as a law firm, some lawyers got fired. They were representing, I guess they were helping. I forget who they were helping, but they got fired. And one of the ladies said that the armed Secret Service men came to her door and basically told her, "Don't you go to Capitol Hill tomorrow and testify." And she went anyway and told me, hey, the armed people showed up and told me, you best not be talking about what you learned. So, sure, Omarosa, she's somewhere doing Omarosa stuff. The astrological thinker says, I think Damon can handle it. I don't know about that. JM, how you doing? He says, Michelle ain't like us, clearly. Thunder says, DK, if you wrestle any man, even if he loses, he still won. Y'all crazy. Y'all better stop. Daryl says, you got them gym look in your eyes, Demetra. I guess that cat suit coming this summer. You know what? I low-key had on one to the gym, but I had a t-shirt on. I got a gym story for you. Oh, my God. But yeah, the cats, y'all ain't gonna never see me in no cat suit. I don't look like the penguin like I used to a couple of months ago. But yeah, okay, I got a gym story for y'all. Y'all ready? Here we go. Okay. I turned into Karen at the gym. Now I'm going to tell you how I turned into Karen at the gym. So I finished my workout. I'm getting ready to leave. And I'm at Planet Fitness. So y'all know how Planet Fitness is set up. I'm getting ready to leave. And I see the sister. She's a young sister. She on the Stairmaster. Okay. You know what the Stairmaster look like. It's a high machine. And you going up and down. This sister had on some shorts that looked like panties, and they were jugged all the way up in her booty, okay? That cheeks everywhere. She wasn't no little sister. Not that it would matter. Just booty, just everywhere. Like, just everywhere. And so I'm like, okay, should I say something to her? Nah, because she might be on something to even come in here like that. So she might do me bad, right? So I was like, I ain't going to say nothing to her. So as I was leaving, I walked up to the brother at the counter. I said, listen, I hate to be that person. I really do. And he starts chuckling. I said, and I know Planet Fitness is, the no judgment zone and all this other stuff. I said, but there's a sister down there on the Stairmaster, and all her booty is swinging low and swinging high. Everywhere and he looked and he said, no, she can't be in here like that. I said, I hate to be that person, but come on, man. He says, yeah, okay. He said, no, you're right. So I guess I was kind of Karen today, but I was like, come on, man, really? Man, I didn't feel bad. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, Michelle says her brother's married to a white woman. Her brother does look like a woman. Yeah, he do. He look like a woman. I'm not saying anything bad about him, just say he does. Sunlight says, yeah, Michelle was playing with Bush like he said, Beezy was playing with. Where'd it go? Your comment jumped up. Cut off. Playing with Trump. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's, spending time with him. Jacob's descendant. He says, reason why those folks are upset is they view that white kid as their brother, cousin, best friend, child, nephew, etc. That's Why they're on social media in an uproar, quiet about those school shootings. You said it, I didn't. Cynthia says, I heard some hot tea on Mizzy. And who was that? Y'all crazy. Y'all better stop it. Rod says those folks out there protesting on April 5th or standing up for everybody's rights except FBAs and Palestinians. Yeah, those protests were very boneless because I didn't hardly see no black people there. I didn't. And I seen some people complaining, where were the black people? Minding our black ass business. That's what we were. Bakari says, Demetria, you fine, stop it. Nah, I'm telling you, I put in some work. I put in some work, but there won't be no Daisy Dukes. I'm finna be 54 on Sunday, okay? I don't know. There won't be no Daisy Dukes from here on. Well, I haven't worn Daisy Dukes in a while, but no Daisy Dukes for me. I'm a
woman. Biker shorts, even though you ain't got a bike. Biker shorts.
No biker shorts. I'm one of them people that be in the gym. I cover up, okay? I ain't there to have see people all up in my no. I'm working out.
The one thing I can say about Demetria, when she works out, she's one of those people that like sweats, and you can tell she's not just eating candy bars and socializing in the gym.
Before I go, I'm gonna show y'all a picture. Donovan, I sent it to you, and you were like, "What in the hell?"
Hell no! Don't ever get that small again.
I'm gonna find it. Take over for a second, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Let's see. Your apological thinker says, "Oh, Demetria, don't hate on the heifers. Let them swing it low and wide." Dwayne Williams says, "Booty rocking everywhere." T. Delgado says, "And Michelle looks like a man." Damon says, "Where's my screenshot of the booty girl, Miss K?" Thunder says, "DK, you got a cat suit. Please tell me it's leopard print. All that's missing is a cigarette hold and a TCB pump spray bottle. I'm going back down memory lane. Good times, good times. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed." You have logical thinkers. Oh, shoot,
I'm a seasoned woman. I'm a seasoned woman. I don't do those things anymore. I'm just waiting for this picture to come through. If it comes through, then I'm going to show y'all what dedication looks like. Okay, let's see. And don't laugh at me,
y'all. She didn't look like this in high school. She was a little heavier in high school. She was Demetria's always been a thick girl. So
don't laugh at me. Okay, you guys laugh, I'm gonna block you. I'm just playing. I'm trying to wait for it to come up. It's taking its time.
Shirley Lara says, "Demetria makes me feel bad about my age. She acts as if she is old." Hey,
I am.
Well, exactly. Wait. We're eligible for AARP, right?
Hell yeah. And I need to get it.
See, so we're in the club. See, Miss Shirley, you elders are always trying to keep us out of what we're supposed to join. Y'all keeping us out of the clubs.
Y'all ready?
Clubs. We ready.
Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. That was me.
Oh, that was back in the day. Yeah.
That was about 9 years ago. That was about 9 years ago. I was on it. I was fit. Now, I ain't gonna get that small because I sent it to Donovan. It came up in my memories. He was like, My sister says, please don't go there. I'm concerned. My daughter said, you look like a crackhead then. We're trying to tell you, you didn't listen. Yeah, I was I think I was like 100.
She was mad. She was in her mad phase during that time, man. You couldn't get her out of the gym, off the hill, none of that. She was just mad.
But I was glad. I shed some weight metaphorically and I shed some weight physically, right? Now I don't want to get that small. Okay, that's a little too small. My daughter called me a bobblehead, but my daughter's mean, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm not gonna get that way. I'm gonna keep some meat. Yeah, I was very fit. I was very, very fit. I worked out 3 times a day. Sometimes it was not rare for me to do 35,000 steps a day. I would go up the mountain. If you know Mount Rubidon, California, Riverside, I would do that sometimes in the morning. Then I would go meet my friend at lunch. Then I would meet her after work. We would maybe do it. If not, we would do about 5 or 6 miles around the town. And just to kind of top it off a little bit, we walk up the mountain and then walk right back down. Plus, I was lifting weights at home. And then that's when I became a vegan too. So I had like no body fat at all. So I don't know if I'll get back there, but
And we were just praying for her, like, what is wrong with Demetra? Man, y'all listen to some prayers. She's just constantly, look, running up the thing, coming down the thing. I was just like, oh, Lord.
there's no mountains here in Houston, right? But we'll see. Anyway, let's see. Sonia, how you
Demetra,
doing?
wait. Demetra says, Damon says, well, what's your height?
I'm 5'4". On a good day. I'm getting older, so maybe I'm 5'2" now. I don't know. But yeah, I'm 5'4", so I was about 140 pounds there. Yeah, that's pretty small for me. But yeah, I'm gonna remove her. So yeah, that took a lot of work. I don't know if I have it in me to do that anymore. I mean, we'll see. I'm sure my daughter will tell me if I'm getting too small again. But I thank y'all. Yes, I was very trim. It was as older people say, it was streamlined, very streamlined. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. We've overstayed our welcome. Love and appreciate y'all. Walter will not be here tomorrow because we're gonna do every other Wednesday. I don't know if I'll come before y'all because that's when I do all of my videos, 15 of them to be exact. And yeah, I'd be kind of exhausted, but maybe I'll drink some coffee. Oh, Bakari
Troy
says now
leave that pickup, sis.
Huh?
Troy says, leave that pickup, sis.
Oh no. I got some other ones too. Another one came in my memory I was like, wow. Yeah, maybe I need to try to get back to that. I'm one of those people. I'm not caught up on size and weight as much as I used to be. I'm caught up on how I look in my clothes. That's how I am. I like to look a certain way in clothes. I don't like stuff bulging and too tight. And I like to be comfortable in my clothes. I like a certain look. And if it stopped looking like that, then it's like, yeah, you better push away and do some push-ups or something. I don't know. Damien said 6'2", 335 pounds, 63 years young. All right now. Sonia says, here I am at 5'7", trying to get my weight back down to 150 pounds. I think you look good, Demetra. That's not too small. Okay, I'm gonna be taking notes.
Oh yeah, if you get to 150, knocking out the park. How much? Well, I don't want to ask how much you are now, but yeah, 150 at 5'7". Mm-hmm.
Well, hey James, how you doing? When you get older, it's harder to lose weight for a whole lot of reasons. And men too, men and women is harder. So yeah, just got to keep that in mind. Some of this is just naturally happening, and some of it is nothing you can do about it, but some of it you can. So the things that I can do about it, I'm going to do about it. High Tech, how you doing? Long time no see. Says finally able to catch you live in a long time, but guess what? He about to catch us leaving because we leaving. Anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Jamarcus, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're about to get out of here. Go ahead.
Before we go, just again, if you want to donate, it's pinned in the chat. Just make sure you give them that to knock them out.
Sister Shirley, a brick house. 5'11", 180. She a brick house.
What? Oh yeah. Well, look, don't you come up in no VFW looking like that, Miss Shirley.
Miss Shirley. Dante says you almost got married once. You met a 6 foot Samoan woman, about 250 pounds. That's a brick house too. That's a brick house.
Small one. That's a small one.
You know what?
Yeah, that's a small one.
I had some Samoan neighbors, and they get together, and they for they little whatever they was doing, and man, I'm like, I know y'all finna eat greedy. I know y'all roasting a whole pig back there as we speak. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here if I get in trouble. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We will see y'all. I don't know if I come here tomorrow. If not, one of these days, Thursday or Friday, I'll be back before y'all. So in the meantime, Donovan.
Yes, check your notifications to make sure you guys could get on the show. They are, taking off the notifications and stuff. And if she does come up tomorrow, you guys get notified. If not, she won't. But again, we need to support our youth. We don't know if this man is innocent or guilty. 9 times out of 10, we defend on the public defender. I mean, think about what we do. We defend on the public defender, GoFundMe, car washes, things that we should be having. We have to, this is an opportunity under this Trump administration to reset ourselves as a community and get things right. We should have life insurance on ourselves and on our children. There's so many things we have to reset and do it the right way moving forward. and teaching our legacy to do better than we have. So again, if you guys want to donate to this young man, it's pinned up in the comments. I'll put it in the chat just before we leave right now. Anything that you guys can do would be appreciated. We don't know if he's innocent or guilty, but that's not for us to worry about. We want to see that this man gets a fair trial, and they are trying to stack the deck against this young man.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed, Sunlight. Well said. And yes, Bakari, free Carmelo Anthony until it's backwards. Anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Y'all do have a great evening, and I will see y'all one day later on this week. Peace.